start up some of the games that we're going to be playing today. First up, we're going to be playing a simple visual novel. That will that'll be fun. Like who knows? I hope my sound is coming in right. I can't tell, but I would like it for everyone to have something fun to enjoy. I do like this visual novel and it's kind of nice. And since it's I think Valentine's Day, I figured a visual novel would be cool. Give me a second, I have to go check something. But sorry about that. Throat suddenly dried up. Hopefully, everything is going well. Alright. Come on. I think I'm waiting for the game to just load in properly, I guess. Come on. Oh, it's just Steam. I have to wait for Steam to load the game in, or actually open up. Whew. That will be fun. Come on. What is this? Alright. Thanks, Steam pop-ups. A second. Alright, let's see. Put that away. Alright. Okay, is that the game? Hopefully that's the game. Alright. Phew. Come on. Okay. Oh dear. This looks pretty bad. Alright, come on. Okay, Steam. Thank you. Alright. So, the games we are going to be playing today are Our Lives uh, Now and Beginnings, I think it's called. Princess Maker 2 Refine and Sonic Crossworlds. I think those would be fine games to play. Hopefully, my PC doesn't crap out on me or something, and Steam doesn't cause me any issues. Come on. Alright. we go. Okay, yeah, it's loading. That's good. Yes. All right, that's perfect. I have to fig Okay, I have to figure out what that large sound was. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah, I had to like because I'm gonna be like at my PC for a while. I figured I'd probably try to get something that would be easier on the old back. So I went and got a step ladder to use as a chair. And I don't know about you guys, but a step ladder is not a good chair. I probably should have like gotten a few more visual novel games, but I don't know. Like this PC is has been giving me problems yesterday, last time we streamed, after just finishing being reset, so I don't even know if this will go over well, but I want it to, so I'm just gonna hope and pray that it does, and we shall see. Like, who knows? Hopefully it does. Hopefully everything goes well. I really, really want it to go well. All right. Game is still loading. Okay. That's fine. I swear to God, if something breaks, I have a feeling something's gonna break, and I don't know what. Like, I can barely see sheet. Okay. Give me a second. Dang it. Okay. All right. It looks like it's not disconnected. All right. Let me try to fix this in OBS. Let me, come on. There. And where are you, game? Okay. Ah, shit. No. Okay. There it is. Okay. Config. Windowed. All right. Let's see. All right. That looks good. Okay, there we go. That should be a good size. Please, please don't. All right, there we go. All right. Welcome to our life, beginning and always. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, there's various ways you can customize and interact with our game. The tutorial overview of how features work. Read the full tutorial from the main menu. Let's start off. The game is divided into 4 time periods based, I call it steps. Step 1, childhood, adolescence, young adulthood, and adulthood. Further divided into sets of vignettes that take place during specific periods of time. Those are called moments. Played in any order or skipped entirely, you can move on to the next step whenever you want by selecting these that summer is ending. 1 to 3 include 5 moments each, and even more unlocked by purchasing DLC. Some are out now, other DLC will release later on. Step 4 is an epilogue and doesn't include moments. A lot happens over the years that go by, especially in regard to the character you play as. You can determine nearly everything about the main character: name, appearance, personality, pronouns, interests, skills, relationships with major characters, so on. You can decide to change the details as time goes on, with few exceptions. Your last name, skin tone, and eye color can't be altered once set. Basic traits are determined on the character creation screen. As the MC grows up, more options become available. One of the decisions you'll get to make for your characters is selecting a name. You can type in any name or make a select one. Preset options are called voice names because the names will be voiced aloud by the romantic lead. You get to hear him say your name as you play through the story. Only the default name Jamie is included in the base game. 100 more can be added by getting a free voice name expansion DLC. Full collections of names is separate out as DLC because of how large it is. If you're not interested in that feature, you don't need to get it. Each name in the DLC belongs to or was selected by someone who supported the project. On the character creation screen, there's a cute doll you can decorate to get an idea of what your MC looks like with different traits. Not all things you decide about the MP appears on the doll. The script referencing what you decided is the main story way of those decisions influencing the game. First person perspective, so your character doesn't appear next to other characters' sprites. You only see the MC as a decorative doll and in special cutscene images. The cut-in CNGs only appear if certain choices are made, and it's possible to not see any during a playthrough. There's a second type of special MC-based screen, the interest and comfort screen. Unless you get DLC, the game has one love interest, Cove. He grows up with the MC, and interest and comfort screen is crucial to determining how that plays out. Interest level sets how much you like him. There's 4 levels: disinterest, fond, crush, love. Love is only available starting in step 3, and if you are at fond or crush in step 2. Comfort determines how you generally react or think when it comes to him. There are 3 levels: nervous, relaxed, and direct. Your level of interest and comfort will set the type of dynamic your character has with the love interest. What you did in the past will influence the present, and feelings change over time. You get to pick your interest and comfort near the beginning of every step. Comfort can switch between 3 levels as you please. Interest can only stay the same or increase. Your current level of interest will become the new lowest option on the screen in the future. For example, if you decide to be fond in step 1, disinterest will not be available in steps 2 and 3, which will make fond the bottom level option for your relationship. Interest level has an impact when it comes to physically interacting with Cove. While growing up, things are rather simple. If you get along with one another and have a close relationship, you get close to touch him, and Cove will occasionally interact in lighthearted and comforting ways. But starting in step 3, touching can become more romantic or suggestive if you're at crush or love. To make sure things go nicely with that, there's an extra choice to determine initiative level and a bonus mini tutorial that goes along with the choice to explain the feature in more detail. Even if you decide you like Cove, the game won't force you to act on those feelings. You can always choose to not get together with him, choose not to accept or give romantic gestures. If you decide to date Cove, though, you can't break up with him later. Interest and comfort gets the basic sound, but the choices that appear, the normal game events that decide what actually happens between the MC and Cove. Alright. Fine isn't only the MC who's impacted by your decisions. Cove grows and changes over the years. How he's treated and what experience he has shapes who he becomes. Steps 2 and 3, Cove's personality, appearance, and interests will vary based on what happened in the previous step. It's something of a mystery exactly how your decisions end up changing him. You can try to guess as you go along, or if you prefer, you can also design your ideal code directly using the code creator option that pops up at the beginning of steps 2 and 3. Many choices you want is important. Alright. When a choice does appear, you'll see that hovering the cursor over the option shows a certain color, yellow, blue, or green. These colors aren't specific. They're only to give a bit of insight on the tone, emotion of the choice, since text can potentially be read in more than one way. Blue tends to be casual, straightforward, yellow, emotive or reactive, green, less certain and uncommitted. Okay, so there's hundreds of options. Not every choice menu falls in line with that pattern. Picking just one color every time doesn't give a gameplay benefit, only stick to a certain type if that's what you happen to like, otherwise switch between them freely. Always pick yellow, never pick yellow, pursue romance from the start, never romance the love interest, be disagreeable or amicable, none of them will lead to a bad ending. You're welcome to enjoy the events and shape the story without reservation, and if you like, you can play it again to try something new. There's only ever want more good content to discover. We hope you have a nice time. Alright, that's the end of that. Now to design the character for this visual novel. Here we go, you guys. Shit, what is that? Something's on my desktop. I think goddamn pop-ups. What? There we go. Hopefully. God. Come on. Come on, Shady. Get your game on. Alright, now. Let's see. Face shape. Okay. Uh, that seems fine. Peachy, pale, rectangle, oval, sharp, pointed, lidded, sloped. Alright. Let's see. Huh. That looks cool. Alright. Blue. Okay. No. Ooh. These hairstyles or something. Okay. Yes. Blunt. Alright. Ooh. That's nice. Wait. Okay. This is giving me an idea. I could totally do that, couldn't I? Alright, go. Blysney. Eh, nice. Actually, all right. Do I have it? Yes, I do. All right. Uh, yeah, I think that's good. All right. Page. All right. Freckles. Slender. All right. That's cool. All right. Yeah. Perfectly fine. Change page. Scar on the chest. Uh, all right. Okay. Ooh, these are a lot. Hmm. Huh. Bunny. Bunny. That's a good. That's funny. All right. Nikki. Noah. Noah. Nui. Tygo. Tara. Terry. Okay. There's a lot of voice names. Ah, there we go. And yes. You know what? I have an idea. Um, like I designed the character to look like one of my OCs, so why not give them the OC's last name? All right. There we go. Yay, now we're in the game proper. All right, summer and sunset bird is a special time of the year. You usually sleep in town because of the event bustle. Oh, no, I made the screen too small for me. I can't read the text. Damn it. Wait, config. All right, text outline. All right, that should be good. All right, popular tourist destination with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach. Smell of the ocean is crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of school, less vacation. Your mom didn't like you wandering too far outside of your neighborhood, so you know the area pretty well. This included the people. Families came and went, mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. Built businesses, got to know each other, definitely ate, said hello to nice young kids who waved them passing the stores. Going for a walk around town, mostly meant that familiar, friendly residents waved or asked how your family was, or more often just said hello. Yeah, this is what I like about small towns. They're so friendly. Like I know this is something you mostly only see in cartoons nowadays, but towns like these are like the literal best. Like, I've never ever lived in one. Like, I lived in neighborhoods that were close to what this was, but never like a whole town that was like this, and I'm very upset about that. I stayed in a town that was like this once. Like, it was, I think, around my grandparents' place, but that was in like very rural farmland, so that was kind of the same. All right. All right. Okay. Let's go with this option. They still smiled at you anyway, and that made you feel more comfortable. But today there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house, sitting with his head in his hands, so body slumped over. You wondered if he was even a real person or a statue. Whoever or whatever he was, you never seen him before. If one thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people who you didn't recognize really, really stood out. Yeah, that's the problem with small towns, though. Places where everybody knows your name. All right. It was rare for tourists to venture into the residential district, as your moms called it. So, for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set out a lot of red flags. Stranger danger, everybody. Stranger danger. Your mom's had a talk with you and your big sister Lizzie about this kind of situation before. All right. Yeah, let's go with runaway. You weren't sure about the man yet? Whether it was nice or not, you didn't want to be bothered. You slowed down as you thought about how you can get around this. There was a split second where your eyes met. That wasn't good. He was probably going to say something now, but he's seen you around here. Hey, you are right, the deep voice called out to you. You didn't say anything. Unfortunately, the man stood up and started to walk over to you. Hmm. Deer in the headlights. Let's go that way. Okay. Uh, ooh, Surfer Man. Like, it's been a while since I played this game. I don't think I ever actually beat like a single playthrough, but most of my memories of the game are pretty faded, so I figured I'll be fine playing this as is. All right. Do you live around here? What's your name? You look the man up and down, taking in his tan skin and relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed, the way his acting wasn't. Let me put a save down. You never know. Though with Princess Maker, we're probably going to actually follow a guide because there's a guide to beat the War God at age 10. It's very, very hard, but I figured why not do that for the next one? But right now we're still here. He had sharks on his shorts and uh stingray tattoo. You wonder if he was obsessed with the ocean. While you made your assessment, he looked at you calmly, waiting for an answer to his question. You continued to say nothing. If you do, like, yeah, that I remember now. My one thing about this game is because it's a visual novel, you have to make choices and speak, but I've never seen a visual novel where you can have your main character be partially or fully mute or use sign language, like have it be like shown in text that you can have the character be using sign language and everyone reacts to that. Like, I know of certain interactive fiction games that have that, but the only official game that I've played that's completed that has something like that was the Japanese version of Fire Emblem Awakening. And technically, like in that game, you could have Robin actually be mute by picking that voice option, and the characters like will react to that in every single dialogue that involves Robin. So that's cool to me, but that's a completely different thing. All right. Anyway, he's handing us money for something. $20. Okay. Nothing, sorry. I should have started over. I don't know. Older person handing a younger person money, asking for a favor, never really goes over well. Okay. I have a son. His name is Cove. He was about your age. Shoot on the inside of your cheek. This guy's definitely obsessed with water. He wasn't the only person like that in Sunset Bird. We moved across the street, see? He gestured towards the house that's been empty for a year, his watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. The giant for sale sign was finally gone. You must be Shady Belladonna, right? I met your moms earlier and they told me you were 8 just like him, so. Okay, he's handing me the money. Could you try to be friends with the boy? Just give it a chance and you can keep this. He's a good kid. You'll like him. Alright. Did other kids really get their parents to pay for friendships? Rich people did. Rich people did. Are my dear main character, rich people. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I'm taking the money. It's like I don't even trust the guy, but I'm still taking the money. Like, don't you judge me for taking the money. Like, I will. I am not. Uh, I am not like a greedy person. If I see money on the ground and it's obvious that it's like belongs to somebody, I'll try to return it. But if I see money and there's like no obvious hints that it's belonging to a person, I am taking the money. Like literally, my last paycheck for my day job was $66. I am not about to go, oh, I'm too good for money. And what is that? Ah, dang it. My phone alarm is blaring now. Give me a second. Yeah, it's just, I am not about to just not take the money because why would I refuse money? Money is money, and money can buy me food, and food is good. All right, let's see. All the sweets you could ever want. No. Okay, it costs a few dollars to get a library card. Reading is fun. All right. Okay. I know a few things like on my OBS setup is not working properly, but I can't fix those right now. At least I don't think I can. Anyway, let's continue on with our visual novel fun. You enjoyed reading a lot of different books. You can get you can even get every one you liked now. But that's just a start. The sky was the limit with that kind of amount. He then smiles at you. Great, that's great. I'll bring him by tomorrow. I wanted him to meet and greet with the neighborhood uh today, but well, I don't know where he's gotten off to. If you see him, could you tell him to come on home? He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss it. Okay. Find the kid with the cast on and some glasses. Roger. All right. Well, technically playing this character as a partial mute would be fun, but uh, or is it like nonverbal? I don't know if nonverbal is the politically correct term for partial mutism or not. I know there's a proper term, but like partially mute and like is usually the term used in the fan fiction community. So that's the one I'm more familiar with. So if I am upsetting anyone, I'm sorry about that. All right. Man smiled. Your mom's already checked around for me. So such a thoughtful group you are. I better go look too. Can't pull everyone into my problems. Okay. You might come back, and then that's not what is important. All right. Okay. Check the hills behind the house. Okay. Let's go check those hills. Ooh. All right. Step one, first sight. All right. Let's see the main character now. Like, if I remember correctly, when I first played this game a long, long time ago, I did buy the DLC on impulse because more content means more stuff, and that also meant uh, more interactions to further build the character. Because anyone who knows me knows I am all for character creation. If you can let me create a character or create a bunch of units for my party, I will play your game no matter how bad or janky or crazy your mechanics are or the art style. If I'm able to, I will play it. I always am like that. So that has always been my thing. So like I'm pretty sure when I re-downloaded the game after re-downloading Steam, it came with the DLCs already installed, so I'm gonna be fine with that. Considering voice names were DLC and I those were in the character creation menu, so yeah. Top of the hill, you can see the ocean. All right. Like Star Wars. There's a Star Wars quote. Like, you didn't enjoy the beach all that much, especially the sand, which got absolutely everywhere. You loved to hear stories about the merfolk and sea serpents. You imagined living beneath the waves. You always loved the ocean. It was so much fun. I like mer creatures. Like, I can't swim, but I do enjoy a good mer creature every once in a while. I did make a fantasy world with, like, merfolk in them. It, like, I didn't, like, do that much with it. I just explained why, like, a few other, like, things in that world were the way they were through the fact that the merfolk existed. So, like, nobody really traveled across the world, and there was no, like, world, like, cohesion because there was merfolk in the water, so no one made like good boats because you couldn't. But let's get back to the game. All right, some things you could sometimes you could almost convince yourself you really had seen the flash of a shiny mermaid tail in the distance. You you took in a deep breath. You wanted to try and relax and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you that you weren't alone. So you glanced around. Oh, there he is, Cove. All right. There's so much wires over here. Keep like accidentally stepping on the wire holding my headphones and microphone and headset. His head was buried in his knees, and he was staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him a little longer, feeling a bit like you found a deer in the wild. So deer didn't have, well, he does have green hair, pink casts, but this new boy did. You wonder how he got it. After a few seconds, he took a step forward, then another. He could not stare away. Aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scary. Are you lost, kid? With a start, he jumped to his feet, hands falling to fists at his side. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He'd been crying. There was traces of tears on his cheeks and his knees soaking the hem of his shorts. His eyes were still shining with a few more. You obviously caught him off guard, pink casting the glow in the twilight, though when he caught you staring at it, he hid his arm behind his back. Something the man earlier stuck out to you. Cove? How'd you know that? You touched the money in your pocket. I met your dad. Oh, is this your hill? Uh, I can leave it is. No, it's not my hill. While doing so, you picked at a strand of lint on your leg. What a weird question to ask someone. Okay. Curious about this strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the path of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers, too. The night wind was cool as it traveled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. Why are you here? A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as you asked the question. Almost like they never stopped, his tears started up again with a vengeance. Your parents? They didn't want to live together with me anymore? Oh, oh, your parents are divorced. Eh, if this was a JRPG or something, this would technically be the start of your adventure, maybe. Like something would be the inciting incident dragging you off to lovely adventures, but this is a visual novel, so that's not going to happen. Like, you're technically Matt and TK right now, and Koji and what's his name from Frontiers. Tears fall heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking to his dark lashes. Mom made Dad leave, and he took me with him, and now we have a house here, and I want to go home. Okay, so you want to go home? Is that our inciting like call to action now? Are we gonna try to get you home? Like that seems like a fun thing to do. Let's go get you home. I hate this place. I want my real life back. I want my mom. Stop crying. You were tired of seeing him crying so much already. He should learn to toughen up. Babies cried, but from the way off in the distance you heard your parents. Oh dear. Okay. Uh, you can handle it. You can handle it, and even you can't, he's your dad, right? So you didn't come here by yourself or with a stranger. He's got to take care of you no matter what. All right, you don't want to go back home. All right. Yeah, I get it. Before you could answer, you heard Cove's dad. Even closer? All right. Shady, there you are. Been at the park to check for Cove and heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor? I thought you might have gone off further away. Uh, why is everyone acting like this is a bad thing? We didn't know where you went, we were worried. Okay? Heh, why not? Like, technically, he's the first love interest of the game. Why not just immediately say we're gonna marry the guy? Oh, that's wonderful. Alright. So, technically, we got money to go find Cove. So, did we just complete a quest? Like, if this was an RPG, would finding Cove have just been, like, a side quest? Huh. Like, I've been thinking about it because one of the things I wanted to do, like, either this month or at the end of next month, was boot up Visual Novel Maker and stream the creation of a visual novel. So, like, if I made one, should I make something like this? Who knows? Let's continue on and we'll see what everyone else thinks about it later. Okay, see ya, Cove. Alright, two of them walked off into the darkness, heading towards the neighborhood. You watched Cove's bright pink cast as it disappeared. Tell you what, we'll have a proper play date tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How does that sound? It sounds like words. Alright. Satisfied and more than a little ready to go to bed after your long, exciting day, you followed them home. Alright. And now we're at a new screen. Alright. Feelings for Cove. This is how you feel towards Cove. For this step, it can change in later steps, okay? It is time to save over this. Okay. Okay, indifferent. Alright, direct. Alright. Hmm. You know what? Yeah, indifferent and nervous. Alright. Begin step one at nervous indifference. Alright. This seems fun. Early the next morning, you poked, poking at your food. Sister Lizzie had run early to play. Today, just like your moms had promised, Cove was coming over to hang out. Excited to see your new friend again, Shady? I guess. You hoped your moms knew you were joking about marrying Cove. It would be bad if they started planning a wedding. With that said, are you sure you're done with your breakfast? Entirely empty, so you nodded. I know it's bad to say, but the two moms look pretty cute. Not gonna lie. I wholly support their like wholesome cuteness. Like, come on, who doesn't like them? Their designs are good. All right, be cleaning up. Left. We need to make a more obvious doorbell. I know, I know. Can you get it? Besides, her blush is nice too. All right. Uh, family, thanks for having us. Looked different in the bright lighting of the living room, and he wasn't crying. Okay. Okay. So we're going to my room, I guess. If I remember correctly, I did try the demo for the next game in this series, and that one is like a, with like a polyamorous thing. So that was pretty cool. Like I've never really seen anyone actually try to do that before and do it properly. So it's like, okay, these guys really do know how to cook with their stuff. So like I can trust people like these guys to make good romance. There's not a lot of good romance games out there, in my opinion. Okay, you let them to your room. Stuffed animals, a cool bed, a window. All right, I drew that. Cool. Head towards the little room, starting the books. Started to feel a bit nervous. Okay. A hoard of stuff I found on the beach. Driftwood wood? What about... Okay, why would I have driftwood? I mean, I have a special interest beach collection box, but would I have driftwood? Okay, dragging the box to the middle of the room. You and Cove hop down next to it. Yeah, you gesture to a piece at the bottom, still covered in specks of sand. Neat, this is a good collection. Got the sense towards his voice that he wasn't just saying it to be nice or to be like Silo, he really meant it. Yeah, my sister's friend, Silo, he wants to meet you. He'll be okay, I think. Here, I found this shell in a log and he put out a she shell after she shell, ever explaining where you got in each one and holding them up against the light. There were big ones, small ones, pink, purple, orange. Most of them you washed off in the bathroom sink when you brought them home, cleaning off the sand. Okay. Over the past few years, you even learned some of their scientific names. You had a whole picture book dedicated to different shells and sea life. You've learned a lot by flipping through the pages. Occasionally fascinated either by the stories or the shells themselves, listened with what looked like the full force of his attention. It was a new experience to be the center of such dedicated focus. All right, little sea biologist, let's go. Even if it was only directed at the shells. Kids, come down to the living room. Cove haven't has been like this since meeting you. You guess it was because he thinks you found each other by accident, not that the parent made it happen. Mr. Holden was right in telling Cove his dad was a part of that. Be a bad idea. Okay? Be careful. Alright. You weren't sure if you could trust someone else with your treasures yet, so you stayed next to him while he opened the lid and peered inside. Oh, a big orange shell. Like he hadn't spoken aloud, he turned to you and held it up, his eyes shifting. I think this one is the best of them. If you want, you can have it. Really? Sure, you like it a lot, right? But I don't want to take it from you. You had the impression he's hesitant to accept something because he didn't know you very well? No, it's okay for you. It's a battle you couldn't win, at least not today. Cove was your neighbor now, maybe you can give it to him another time. Lizzie's friend? So very obvious didn't hide his feelings well. You could tell what he was thinking right away. This wasn't a good idea. He's at our only door. If you go upstairs, he'll find you. Go out the window. Yeah, let's go out the window. Hurry, they'll see where we're going. Alright, ready taking off from away from the house. Uh, I can outrun him. Yeah, let's have us be able to outrun him. That sounds fun. Cove. Ran as fast as your legs would take you, grass whipping around your ankles as you did so. Cautiously slowed down, looked back at you. Where are you going? Somewhere I don't want. I just. Somewhere else. I just don't want to see. What are you doing? Can I come? Oh, hi. Are you Cove? What? What? How did he find us? We went out the window. Huh. This kid is something else. Little teleporter. All right. That's pretty cool. Okay. Silo. Are we going back? Or are we going to play outside? Okay. I got a tiny frown from Cove. You were just grateful you hadn't asked why you had been running away. Alright. Planned for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned, was to sit and look at the beach thing some more. You weren't really in the mood to do much of anything else. You had a recent find at Cove, a scallop shell that washed up on the shore. It's a pretty color, kind of like my cast. Alright. The beautiful glittering pink did look a little bit like the wrap around his arm. Pink is a nice color. Okay. Is it your favorite? Not really. What is? Maybe green or blue. It might be yellow. Oh, those are cool. Hmm. Not sure how to deal with the awkward silence. You looked back at your shells. Hmm. Like usual, it didn't take long for Silo to get fidgety. Liz was his favorite. Without her around, Silo didn't seem to know what to do with himself. And Cove wasn't like your sister. He wasn't that much like you either. Is Liz coming back? Don't know. This kid seems like he might have ADHD. I don't know. That or ADD. That would explain his fidgety nature, but you have to wait until I think 12 before you can diagnose someone. It's either like 12 or around 9. And he's technically 8, so that would mean he's like somewhere between 2 to 3 years before he can get diagnosed properly. Yeah, you have to be like in first grade, first or second grade before you get diagnosed with like ADHD or ADD or autism, I think. Well, if you're male, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I only know this because I spent like a lot of time around the like guidance counselor like rooms that they like section off kids with like those kind of conditions too for some reason down in Florida because they also put like the troublemakers there too, or at least some of them. All right, playing in at our park. There's a park, yes, but it's old. All right, the park is pretty great. right by the beach. There's a lot of fun stuff to do. Lots of sand. Is there a jungle gym and a bunch of swings? That sounds like it would be cool. So we're going to find Lizzie? I don't know. I never really wanted to see her. I just wanted to check out the park. Adrift without any direction. Salo finally turned to you. Okay, let's go find the park. You found her. She was hanging out in the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. Shady, Silo. Should I probably do more voices? I should probably do voices for these characters, but I don't think I can pitch my voice that well yet. She dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud in the sand. In a split second, Silo had abandoned you two and scrambled over to stand by her. You're used to being left out when it was just the three of you, but now Cove was here. We weren't sure if this was an improvement. Who's that? It's Cove. He's new. I remember. Hi, Cove. Welcome to the park. Nobody ever comes to play here, so this is where we get together. While Liz continued talking, you took the chance to kick off your shoes and wiggle your toes to the warm sand. Alright? Liz is the oldest, uh, by a lot. Mom said you're Shady's age. Thought so. I'm still the only one in this group with double digits. Okay, so you're either 10 or 12 because you said by a lot, so it should be like a maximum of 4 years. Given how the family situation is, it should be. Like I, if I remember correctly, the game takes place either uh, in the northern part of the Americas or in Canada. So, like I think it was like either California or like Canada. So, yeah, if I remember my like family laws correctly, yeah, you should be like a maximum 4 years older than the main character. Other kids, there aren't any. We're the only kids here. Silo's just visiting from another place. Not even tourists really bring their kids here. This is a land of ancients. Be careful that the oldies don't try to steal your youth. Something in his eyes shifted. What kind of old people? Like mom and dads or grandparents? Grandparents who don't have any kids. They hate kids. Only some of them. Alright. So, old, crotchety, child-free people who dislike kids on principle. Yeah, I know those kinds. Okay. Staring Cove down, but Cove wasn't even looking at her anymore. He didn't seem to care that she was there. He kind of went into his own head. Silo was the next one to speak, completely unaware of the situation. I met Lizzie and Shady in school. You'll see a tons of kids there when summer's over. I don't want to go to a new school. I don't want summer to end. Silo looked down to the dirt. He hadn't had much luck striking up conversations with Cove. I like summer vacation a lot too. In the building tension in the air suddenly vanished when Lizzie laughed. Okay. At Silo's discomfort at how weird she thought Cove was, at something else entirely you didn't know, but she laughed, face crunching up. Welcome to Sunset Bird Cove. Take a seat. Put your feet. Get used to it. That's right. All right. For the rest of the summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Silo. On some days when she was in a bad mood or bossy, you even saw him more than Lizzie. He became a staple of your everyday life. The sun and the lunch and the beach were. That first summer, you hadn't really been interested in him in one way or another. It was just kind of a fact of life, someone you met because he was there. Of course, that was only the start of things. All right. Yes, we got all the DLC. All right. So we save. Okay, library. Every year, some library program. Read a bunch of books. Uh, Books are nice, so obviously I loved it. Each time it's been one of the highlights of your summer. Your mom still brings up the time when you shyly made her a thank you card for letting you participate. You and Lizzie went with Silo before, and this year you brought Cove. His dad had been so over the moon about Cove being included that he'd driven all four of you. You'd never been in Cove's dad's car before. It seemed a lot shinier than your mom's. After herding the group inside, Mr. Holden gave you all a wave with the arm with the stingray on it. Have fun. Stay in sight of the librarians, you hear? I wish I could watch you in action, but your poor old dad has to finish up some work. Though I'm sure that won't get in the way. Heck, I'd probably hold you kids back. There pointedly no reply from his son over what was likely meant only as a joke. Cove seemed to deflate a bit. I'll swing around again when this shindig ends. Alright. Yeah, you can go home now. You don't have to throw me out the door. Uh, your sister, already in full competition, cut him off. For once, Cove looked grateful. Found us table. Alright. Okay, okay. See you in about an hour. Have fun. Did I say that already? My advanced age is really catching up to me now. Bye, Dad. Bye, son. Four of you watched him shuffle out the library, glancing over his shoulder. Bye, Mr. Holden. Thanks for bringing us. Thanks, Lizzie. I don't know what you're thanking me for. Are you copying Silo? Distracted, Cove was already glancing at the gigantic library. I want to go explore. What? I said I want to go look around and see what's in here. But the quiz starts soon. That's why we came. What quiz? Oh no. Did something freeze? Wide at the first sign of conflict. Silo's eyes darted between Lizzie and Cove. Then you can do it without me, right? You don't need a bunch of people. Uh, go closer to Cove. Alright. Yes. You two have fun with your quiz. I am going to go look for books. Alright. Looks like a chihuahua trying to keep up with a horse. Alright. Been here a lot. You could play hide and seek, not exploring. If I'm searching for you, and you're searching for me, we would really have to look at everything. Alright. Uh, Fairy tale display. Near the older kids section, there was a display of a bunch of fancy looking books. There are old copies of old stories. Hans Christian Andersen section, hand resting on the glass above the Little Mermaid and Thumbelina books, where you peered into a tiny corner. There was Cove. Alright. It's just the truth. Your turn now. I'm going to cover my eyes. Alright. Fantasy section. Never really mentioned being interested in fantasy, so you had pretty odds hiding there. If you didn't pay attention to it or read it much, you might glance over it. You're right, sort of. He left you waiting for a while, long enough that you eventually pushed yourself to your feet to stretch your legs. You won the round, but Cole wasn't even trying over the edge. You saw him standing, staring at a bunch of books. It's all right. Just reached a shelf of books. The one in his hand had clearly been taking up his attention. They're the Narnia series. It have talking animals and a magical land and interesting fights. My mom used to read them with me. Oh, her favorite one was Susan. All right. When time was up, uh, Kid Detective. All right. Uh, Smirking Kid Detective. Junie B. Jones, don't call her Beatrice on big imposing letters. Pause to stare at it for 1 second. Why would I call her Beatrice if her name is Junie? Shaking your head to clear away the distraction, you tiptoed to see who was sitting in the comfy chair. Sure enough, it was Cove. He was so absorbed in the book he was reading that he hadn't even noticed you yet. I don't think most people read while playing hide and seek. Cove glanced up at you in one rough motion. Oh, hi, Shady. I wasn't sure when you'd get here. It took a while. Not that long. It could have been worse, but it could have been better. Let's keep playing. I can still win. All right. Your dad told me he was waiting by the entrance. Sure. Yep. All right. So we had been doing hide and seek and looking around the library for an hour. That is impressive. That's right. She's with him. There you are. She was pouting. You can tell all the way across the room, and it was only that much more obvious as you got closer. Came in second. Okay. All right. Yeah, we didn't like leave and go home by ourselves. That'd be stupid. Okay. He's leaving Cove, trying to be the first one to the car. Oh, so everyone starts running to the car. I guess to call shotgun? Though Liz had been victorious in claiming the window seat in the car, you could tell by her crossed arms and occasional pout that she's still not forgiven your betrayal. I'm sorry, but I don't like quizzes. I'm sorry, Liz. I just don't like quizzes. Cove haven't been happy. All right. Did you say you came in second place? That's some good going. No, it's not. Sure. Striving to improve is good too. That makes Shay the winner in your family. You wiggle in your seat, hiding a smile behind your hands. Yeah, we played hide and seek. Cove lost. I could have done better if we had more time. Hide and seek with just you two? That doesn't seem count as winning. I don't know. Why not? It's not special. There's no judges or prizes. Oh, are you gonna get your dad to give you a prize? We need a prize. Oh, as a matter of fact, focus intensely on the road ahead, as though a suitable reward to please Cove might appear before him. Right, the big thing on the flyer for this was the chance to get a free pizza coupon, wasn't it? How about I call up a takeout place and we can have pizza at home for dinner? Is mom even gonna let you take a pizza from Mr. Hosen? I don't know, but I'm taking the pizza. I'm sorry, Liz. I'm taking the pizza. Well, see, I'll ask her. I would like to talk to all of your moms about this. Yeah, thanks, man. He's a cool dude. All right. There's a lot of trouble you can get into. Even if you do have a buddy along for the ride, just be careful next time. I worry about you, and I bet Shady's parents wouldn't want her to run off unexpectedly either, okay, son? That's my boy. Now, enough gruff from your old dad. Let's decide what kind of toppings we're going to get. Pepperoni. All right, all right. Sounds good. Anything else? And the conversation continued from there. Holden wanted anchovies, and the other three kids in the car had to band together to explain how gross they were. The way Cove's dad laughed up in the front seat made you wonder if he was doing it on purpose. Still, the processed pizza was promising, even if it didn't have to come with a mandatory side order from Cove. All right. If I remember correctly, you have to do at least three, and then you can go on to the next part. But we're going to do all of them because completing every single moment in each step seems like a completionist award, and I want to do that. A couple hours of playground, swing set. Did you hear? Hear what? It's about Cove. What was this about? You listened confused? I came over, I saw lost people gathered around the middle of the street. They were talking kind of quietly, so I didn't think I was supposed to hear, but that just means it was important. So I snuck up and I heard everything. Okay. What did you hear? It sounds like it's important. Come on, tell me. Dang it. Oh, the game froze. Alright, that's fun. Come on. Damn it. Come on. Come on. Shit. Okay. Cove is missing. Lack of curiosity. Cove is missing. He left a piece of paper just to tell him he was going away and would be gone for a long time. No one's seen him since. Now they're searching. They don't find Cove soon. They're gonna call the police. Cove gonna be arrested. I know Mom and Cove says something about moving here, but running away from home is crazy. Uh, I go to tons of places. I'm gonna go look. You are? Alright. If you're gonna go look, I guess I have to go look now, don't I? Okay, now the game is having problems. It's freezing constantly. That's terrible. But maybe it's just from overheating. Okay? I'll be the one who does. I'm the best at hide and seek after all. I don't know. Alright. Wish me luck. Dang it. There's something. Alright. Before you could say anything else, she ran off in the opposite direction. Okay. Surprising news at first, but it sounded like something he would do when he considered it again. Unfortunately, he had no idea where he could have gone. The thought He thought hard. There was hills behind your house. He's gone there the first time. Cove must be far away or hiding somewhere. Cove was crazy for running away from home, but he never considered Sunset his home, did he? His real home was somewhere else. There's only one place that came to mind that might be important. It was a good idea, except how was he going to get there? He couldn't. Could he take a bus? Was he going to walk the whole way? You didn't know what direction he needed to take. But there was only one way he could go. Going down the street just led to the beach. That couldn't be right. Going to either side would mean he would get stuck by buildings and fences and big slopes like the one behind your house. So that left going up the street. You knew that road. It led to the main part of town and kept going all the way to the city limits. Cove didn't know that area well, and you didn't think he would want to go off that road uh, to some random other street, which meant if someone followed that path, they might find him somewhere along it. The grown-ups seemed to be looking in the neighborhood, so I'm gonna go find Cove. You were worried about Cove and didn't want to have to bother anyone. Plus, you might be wrong. It was your idea, so you should be the one to check there. You rushed to where you had abandoned your flip-flops, slipped them on, and then stepped against the sand as you left the playground. You, you went right up the main street, keeping an eye out for Cove. No one else had the same idea, it seemed, because you were completely alone. You passed through the neighborhood, then the next one over, and the next. Your worry festered like a wound the longer you searched. Just how far had Cove gone? You kept walking. You even called out for him a few times, but you didn't see the familiar mop of green hair anywhere. After a while, the sun began to dip out the sky. It would be dark soon, and there would be still no sign of your neighbor. Okay. You weren't even in the residential district by this point. You had reached the central part of town. There, the area was once strange and familiar. You've been here before, of course, but never without your moms close by. They would drive you. Your footsteps slowed. You started second guessing your decision to go ahead by yourself. It wasn't like you knew for sure where Cove went. You shouted the name a few times as you had done periodically this entire time, but there was nothing. Maybe he's not going this way. Okay, I'm going to keep going forward. I remember this one, like specifically, because I thought that the DLC would have led to an entirely different storyline where you just never went back home, and it would have been like a whole different thing where it's like slice of life as a runaway. But I don't know. That sounds like it would be a completely different visual novel, I guess. But who knows? You were able to make it this far. With that in mind, you pushed yourself to walk a little faster. People said this was a really tiny town, but to you it felt absolutely gigantic. Eventually, the bushes business part of the town ended, and there was no sidewalk anymore, only a long expanse of road. You walked along the grass. Onward was the only option. Your journey stubbornly continued. Oh, we reached the city limits. Okay. Your feet hurt, you were tired, but you were on your own. But somehow you had reached the very end of Sunset Bird. That's what the sign told you. You had lived in Sunset Bird forever. It was very rare to occasion to you'd see the sign. Most everything in your life happened inside the city limits. There's the endless road ahead seemed to scaring away. It paralyzed you and finally put an end towards your forward momentum. You scanned your surroundings instead of dwelling on that. You deeply hoped he hadn't gone past this sign either. The previous times you called his name, there had been no answer. You couldn't be surprised this one didn't come until a dark blob just behind one of the exit sign's legs shifted. You squinted as it started to move. The more you stared, the more your eyes adjusted. The more the dark blob resembled a person, then you realized who it was. It was Cove. He was here. You actually found him. Hooray! We did it, you guys! We found Cove. Alright, then he caught sight of you, eyes wide behind his glasses. Alright, I knew you'd be here. He blinked. How'd you find me? Lizzie told me you wrote in your letter you were leaving. You always wanted to go back home, so I thought you must have come this way. And then that's all he said. Maybe he didn't realize how seriously the adults were taking it. What are you going to do now? I'm going to keep going. He spoke firmly and his gaze turned towards the long stretch of road. Everyone's looking for you. Yeah, the whole neighborhood. Lizzie told me they might even call the police. I don't know why if you'd be arrested, but yeah. Well, technically, if this was France, yes, Cove would be arrested. I remember correctly that If a child runs away in France, they can get arrested for that. Thank, thank you, Miraculous Ladybug fandom, for informing me of that being an actual law in France. Yay. That's a lovely thing to know. I don't know. Because you try to run away? Okay. Alright, so Cove does not want to go back inside the city. Why not? Mom called today to check up on me and stuff. She asked what about Sunset Bird was like, how was I doing? It was okay. When I asked if she would come here, Mom said she couldn't. I can't go back either. Not right now. She has to move to somewhere else first. Why can't I even see her anymore? I'm going to go myself. I don't need anyone to take me. Do you know the directions? She's not there. They both left it. She's staying with somebody until she moves somewhere else. Where's her friend's house? If I don't go see Mom, then she's... Mom doesn't call that much. I haven't seen her in so long. If I don't go, she'll be gone. She'll forget about me. She wouldn't do that. How do you know? She's your mom. She loves you, bro. Come on. Alright. Yeah, I'm not leaving you behind. Okay, zipped up his backpack, offered you a snack, which you took. Probably not. All you know is that the moment you were, then your eyes droop while huddling near Cove, then the next you were snapped back to attention by the beep of a horn. Okay, car slowed. Oh, she's mad. Well, at least she found us. The two of you had us extremely worried. That wasn't a good thing to do, not at all. She softened immediately, not enough to actually let it go, though. You have to apologize to everyone else, too. The rest of the car ride, no one said anything. You thought all of you were pretty tired. In fact, you must have dozed off because you woke up to the sound of the engine stopping. You yawned and got out of the car. Cove came out after putting his backpack on again. Mom locked the car and motioned you two towards the house. She opened the front door and you let you in first. Mommy appeared quickly. She must have been waiting nearby. There was a phone in her hand. Where do you think she might have been talking to? The tight line of her shoulder relaxed when she saw you and Cove. Oh, thank goodness you found both of them. Yes, I did. They were at the actual end of town, right under the now leaving sign. What were you two doing there this time of night? Do you have any idea how far that is? How unsafe? I wanted to see my mom. She came to get me. Alright, since they were communicating telepathically, you stole a glance around the house. Lizzie wasn't anywhere in sight. Could she have be outside somewhere searching for Cove still? Where's Lizzie? Your sister's in her room, fast asleep, the same way you should have been. She came back earlier. She had been out looking for Cove after accidentally finding out he was missing. She tried to pretend otherwise, but she was worried. Said she checked all the hiding places she could think of, but she couldn't find Cove. You two must be sleepy. You can sit down wherever you like. All right. The living room wasn't far or separated by a wall, so you heard your mom's talking softly. He wanted to go see his mother. Poor thing. That explains it at least. Still, I'm not sure it excuses it. It was so dangerous to go off into town like that. He's having a hard time right now. You can't expect a child to handle it maturely. True, it can't be helped. But that's enough of that. We should tell Cliff and the others that he's here before the panic gets out of hand. There could be riots. I'll call, then go to the front to tell everyone still out there. You keep an eye on the kids, make sure they don't take any more trips today. Got it then. Alright. Eh. Hey, zombie, what's going on? Yeah, not much really. I figured since Valentine's Day was coming up, we would play some Valentine's adjacent games. So I figured I'd play like two visual novels and then maybe boot up the Switch and uh, do a little bit of crossworlds, do like a few races for that festival that's going on for Super Monkey Ball, and after that, who knows? I'm gonna just keep going until the PC crashes, I guess. Hopefully. Hopefully it's not gonna be that bad, but whatever. You face him quietly. I didn't want to make you feel bad. I don't want to fight. You took in his apology wordlessly. Yeah, it's a good game. I have played a bit of the sequel's demo, and I like that game too. Like there's not a lot of good games or like games with good writing, so it's like when I find one I like, I usually just stick to it. So I'm like just playing it all till we have, I guess, mostly completion. I'll probably stop if we get to like step 3 in this game and then switch to the next visual novel-esque game, which will be Princess Maker 2. But I'm gonna have to open up a guide for that game because I want to do a specific run, and that requires remembering everything in the guide. Oh, you're coding for a rhythm game? That's pretty cool. You fidgeted awkwardly. Alright. Alright, so I'm okay. Good, that's good. I'm so glad to hear that. He clasped a hand on his son's shoulder, attempting a smile, but the corners of his lips twitched and spasmed as if they wanted it to wilt into a frown instead. Cove seems to have that effect on him. Oh, my phone's alarm is going off. Give me a second. Alright. Turn to you, smiling weakly. I'm so happy you're right too, Shady. Thanks for your help, as always. I'm sorry for ruining your afternoon with this. I can't apologize enough. There was no trouble, Cliff. Really, it couldn't be helped. In a way, something was bound to happen sometime. Besides, he wasn't the only one who decided it was a good idea to disappear today. Exactly, we're just happy the kids are safe and sound. Not the first time that day you recall your original meeting with Cove. He had run away then, too, only not as far as he had today. Cove must have had a similar thought because he mumbled an apology. Some life seemed to return to Mr. Holden thanks to his promise. This time around, his smile was more genuine. That's a relief to hear. Next time you feel like running off, come to me first, okay? We can talk about this. I'm here for you. Cove nodded his head. His dad reached out and rustled his hair playfully, although he made a face. Cove didn't try to dodge the hand as he usually did. Let's go home, bud. I bet you're as tired as I am. All right. Well, you're welcome, buddy. Like, it was a nice little side quest to go looking for you, bro. You're welcome. All right, close the door. You you practically dread on your feet. Okay. Woke up. Okay, so they're still mad. We ate breakfast though, so that's nice. As punishment, your mom took away your TV privilege for the next few days. Liz was annoyed that she couldn't watch her shows with you around, but she adjusted. Whenever you expressed disappointment, your moms reminded you that they weren't punishing you for no reason. It was dangerous to go on your own so late, not without telling anyone. You could have gotten hurt or worse. Alright, we don't know what was said, but Mr. Hogan gave Cove immediately. He didn't do anything to punish Cove for running away. He blamed no one but himself for Cove's desire to leave home. You caught your moms discussing it in hushed tones, frowning at each other. It was pretty serious. The word used you hadn't heard was before self-flagellation, but there wasn't anything they could do to change Mr. Holden's mind. Your neighbors stopped you and Cove often for the next week or so to express their concerns and disapproval of the event. Still, as they always did, days continued to pass, and so did talk about Cove running away. Things eventually returned to normal as they had to. Summer kept going, and you kept having experiences you shared with Cove. All right. And, all right. Barbecue. Been brought along to the big park. It was the next town over. Too far for you to walk by yourself. Busiest you ever seen it. Cove, just a few. Family hesitate growing reckless strangers. Okay. Crowd made you nervous, but you couldn't avoid coming to the event. People running the community event weren't charging for it, but she wanted to get something in return, which is why you're not being allowed to touch the beautifully iced cupcake she carried on her lap during the drive over. It was a special treat. Every time the car made a thumb, she clutched the bike tight enough for her knuckles to strain, much to everyone else's amusement. Mr. Holden's contribution was a huge pack of juice boxes tucked under his arm after being retrieved from the car's trunk. Okay. Should be. Cove, did you put sunscreen on before we left? Alright, good. Kid, I don't want you getting burnt or dehydrated either. It'll be a busy day. Alright. Bunch of grown-ups clustered around. Touch the food. Didn't want to risk getting caught. Okay. Alright, what are we getting to drink? Uh, Ice cooler on the ground full of cans of soda, box of juice and milk, water, milk. You slurped the creamy milk through the straw until all too soon you were sucking up only air. Your group took a break while everyone quenched his thirst, smacked his lips, phantomizing enjoyment. That hit the spot, but you kids should go have fun. You can take your stuff with you and join the other kids. Okay. Just don't go too far from the tables. We keep an eye out, so don't think about sneaking off. We're not going to other parts of the park today. Alright. Cove's mouth downturned as he looked from the parents and the other adults to the new kids. Alright. Yeah, I'm not going near those kids. You want to stick around? You found it hard to speak up in front of those you did not know. Alright. I don't know. If things get too boring, we could always ditch like everybody. Okay. A few faces, many some you knew, many you didn't. All right. Had to chip in to help out. So and so from such and such, and that you last met them when you were in kindergarten or preschool or even in diapers. You had no idea you had such a wide social circle as an infant. All these people appeared to want to talk about the same things. How much have you been doing lately? If you're having fun at the event, how much you've grown. All right. Was safest closer to mom, who patted your head soothingly as people interrogated you. You kept your answers clipped, hoping they would get tired of talking to you and leave you be. Launch into a discussion with someone about the town's infrastructure, whatever that was. Your eyes wandered around. You spotted Cove's dad. He was close by, exchanging a series of questions and answers not unlike the ones that had been posed to you. Instead of asking if he'd grown up or what school he was in, they were asking if he was new here, when he moved to town, what he did. You feel sorry for him. At least you had your mom to bail you out and stick by you when you needed. But he was facing the project questions all on his own. Repeated itself one more time. He didn't have the same rapport with people that your parents did, probably because he was still so new to town they didn't know anyone yet. He saw that he struggled with one question in particular. If he was unattached, it didn't come up in every conversation, but when it did, he fumbled for an answer before giving a response that didn't clear much up. Something about unavailable being a better word to talk about that sort of thing with him. What was the difference? After losing interest in watching Cove's dad go through the same motions, you looked around to see what else was going on. Ooh, a bird. It was a funny thing, about the size of your fist, but it was valiantly trying to carry an entire slice of bread in its beak. Brown bird dragged it away from where the people were congregated, over to a quiet spot in the shade of a tree where you watched its little beak rip the bread as it feasted. Up above, the brilliant blue sky turned orange as the sun sunk over the horizon. Coughing harshly, you were struck with a sharp smell of smoke. Oof, by the sounds of that, I'd say they're starting up the grill for the barbecue. Mom called Lizzie and Cove back to the group, and Mommy turned to face you. Alright, I'm doing alright. You sure? No one needs to go up to the grill they don't want to. Just let me know what you need. Don't worry, I'll get it for you. The main thing being served is kebabs. You can have whatever you like on it. Different meats and veggies. What you like on yours? Alright. Kebabs. Shrimp, beef, chicken, pork. I'll take some potatoes, onions, and that'll be it. Sounds good to me. Order given, you waited for your food to be ready. Hasn't teased you about sticking with your parents earlier. She could be bossy sometimes. Your sister didn't mind you. Weren't always interested in playing with other kids your age. As long as you still spend enough time with her, of course. Chicken kebab with all three colors of peppers. I don't know. I was just asking. Getting beef and shrimp with all vegetables except onions. Alright. All chicken in the world? Okay. You all made good choices. Between them, carrying six kebabs, one for each of you, including Cove and Mr. Holden. Alright. Pretty big, be careful. Try not to poke yourselves with the ends, they're sharper than you might think. Though it didn't hurt your hand, you wouldn't want it scraping the roof of your mouth or jabbing your tongue. It'd be nice if the options were a little easier to manage and less messy to eat, especially for smaller kids. There aren't even places for everyone, so we could set the food down for a second. That's what you get for the price of free. But we can hack it, right? Huh. I don't. I have been to events like this, but never had a kebab before. You're kind of making me want to have a kebab. All right. Your mom passed to a final unclaimed kebabs, Mr. Holden. All right. Do you play golf? Only if you count mini golf. Even then, it's been years since I gave it a shot. Just as well, she'd be dragging you to the green every week. Oh, okay. That's because I got dedication. You need a good driver to get far. Mr. Holden nodded, clicking his tongue in appreciation. Cove looked from his father to your sister, lost in conversation. Outclassed in golf and wit. I don't get it. More golf stuff. You should give real golf a try. Maybe I'll even teach you some tricks. Don't try to change my dad to be more like you. Liz gave Cove a dirty look at the conversation. Mom felt the need to move the topic ahead before it got heated. That's really sweet of you, but I'm sure Mr. Holden is busy. He might not have time for another hobby. Yeah, I don't think I'm made for that. Still, the offer's appreciated. Then tell me something you do already. You just go away every day. I like scuba diving, though with the business that's more work than play these days, surfing and reading, snorkeling. It's a good thing you live by the beach, then. Don't I know it? I'd have nightmares about moving inland. That's not a good joke. Sunset. Alright. Food's gone. And you got to wash your hands. Okay. Oh, washing your hands with a water bottle. Eh, ain't that something? I don't think I've done that in years. But I have used water fountains to wash my hands before at like events in giant parks before. God, I love fireworks. I used to go to like a horse racing, like a horse track where they race horses and gamble and shit. There was like a mall attached to it too, and like a dance pavilion. The fireworks there were amazing. God, I loved it. And the dance competitions. I think I won one of them. Like there wasn't really a trophy or anything, but like I loved it. It was one of the few cool things about Florida. All right. All right. Okay, so everyone's clean. Get a good spot. All right. Get some drinks. Find a cool spot to watch the fireworks. And go. All right. All right. Let's go help, I guess. Okay, let's see what she got. Some pickings. Uh, the drinks that remain look to be bottles of plain water, but you caught a glimpse of something colorful. Rummaging through, excavating a couple of juice boxes from the bottom. You take one of these if you want. Perks of helping. All right. Okay. All right. So found the perfect spot. All right. That's good. Okay. Okay. So I brought the juice box for her Liz. Okay, that's nice. Once everyone's been equipped with a beverage, sat on the grass. Most people in the park had taken a seat now with a few stragglers silhouetted in the back at the tables in the distance. A few rambunctious kids were still dashing about, but their number was steadily decreasing as his parents called them over and restored order. Someone was bearing a cardboard box, waved between groups, pushing every so often. Uh, Handing something out. I can't wait make what it is. I hope it's not drinks. Okay. Often put her hands on top of your sister's shoulders of fear Liz might bolt over to a stranger. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Eh, there was no point in getting excited over something that might not happen. There was other things going on. Tore the grass between your fingers and waited for the shell. Then the box man made his way to your group. Evening, I'm handing out dessert. Any takers? There's dessert? Okay. Oh, these. Oh, God, I love these. Oh, man, they're awesome. I'm going to take that as a yes. Ice creams on the menu. Vanilla flavored with a twist of either chocolate or strawberry. Uh, Offers appreciated. I want chocolate. Okay. A second chocolate for this one here. The condescension wet your fingers in a pleasant way. Kids, are you going to thank the nice man too? Was a chorus of thanks. He cordially nodded and walked off to another group. The man couldn't spend too much time with each group, considering how many he had to get to. He pulled back the tab that covered the ice cream and got right into your unexpected treat. It tasted amazing. Liz definitely was enjoying hers. Cove was too. Liz munched happily, but it ultimately didn't succeed in monopolizing her attention. Eyes wide, she looked at her mommy and pulled on her pants. I didn't get strawberry. Can I have some of yours, please? Okay. It has all the ice cream she needs. I can't resist. Okay. Uh. Hmm. All right. Like, I'm not really that big on strawberry. I'm pretty sure you had strawberry, and I'm not. I don't really like strawberry. All right. Could have gotten yours on your own. The kids have ice cream already, and they're getting some of yours to boot. I have nothing. Now is when you decide to be firm. Uh, cute. Nah, no, I'm still okay. But thanks for keeping me in mind. Cove, it's only fair that you get the choice too, as long as no one's feeling left out. Alright, now it's fireworks. Yay. Okay. Oof. Yeah, sometimes it can get a bit too loud. It's not hurt your ears loud, but it's just yeah, fireworks sometimes like messes with my heart like a lot. I don't know. I guess maybe I might have heart problems. Like the doctors like seem to think I might. Then again, The doctors always just say, "Oh, it's fine," and then give me $1,000 fine, and then like send me on my way. But whatever. Okay. One. All right. All right. So fireworks are going off nicely. Nothing bad's happening. Continue the same twisting like the coil of a spinning spring as they arch in the air. Others shooting straight from the ground and starting a million tiny specks. Every color spotlight in the show. Blues that can rival the ocean. Mr. Holden had let Cove perch atop his shoulders, or more likely, Cove had to be persuaded to give it a try. All right. So there was the grand finale. Dissolve into the night. You release a deep breath. The afterimage still burn onto your retinas, sleeping behind your eyelids with every blink. All right. So focus on the show. Your foot had gone numb underneath you, and it was only when you attempted to stand and you felt the tingling sensation of blood rushing back to your toes. Cove was on the ground again. Your eyes locked momentarily, then you turned back to your family. The news that Cove and his dad would be coming with you to the once a year event had been great. You could admit now that it's been as bad as you feared. All right. This had been a pretty special night. All right. That's good. Let me save. All right. We've been at this for 2 hours. Okay. That's all fine and dandy. Eventually, I'll have to uh, eat something, but that's not now, so that's fine. The night was special. Still, hard to believe how much of a blunt today was. Adventure tomorrow. Comfortable. Push the tree branch. Okay, so it's a mysterious sound. Periodically jumped out of bed and crept down the stairs to go outside. Still awake, watching TV so they didn't hear the soft click of the door opening as he slipped past. Looked around the neighborhood for a few seconds, checking over each individual house. It looked normal, but it didn't feel that way. You weren't supposed to be out here right now. Exhilarating. Alright. Oh, hey, Cove. Saw you standing around in the middle of the street from my window. Because? Did you hear a weird noise? Yeah. Yeah, a little. Like, we're by the ocean, so it could be whales. Like, whales, like, banging each other or something, or dolphins, or seagulls. Could be a ship. Weird sounds in a beachfront town is, like, not the worst thing, but it's still pretty weird. Decided, smiled at that, kind of wondering if it was the wind, but what if it's not? What if it's a person? What if it's something that's not a person? Sounds even worse. Could be anything. Could be a ghost. You weren't going to rule out possibilities. Still a mystery. You think it's a ghost? Might be. I don't know. Alright, so we have to look for where the sound is coming from then. We're still alright. Nothing's coming for us. Let's check the beach. If the noise was some creature of the deep washed on the shores and calling for aid, theory seems to be shaken off the list. Been enough time on the shore to know that the Real finds often required a sharp eye. The sound screamed past your ear. You hunched up, shoulders high as if it's ready to endure a blow, but the only damage was to your ears. Didn't appear to be any immediate danger. Oh, hey, gameplay boy, how you doing? Despite every bone in your body telling you something was not right, but you kept going forward. Your nerves rattled, but you keep going despite the goosebumps. Let's see if it's anything here. Angry wind sent sand rolling across the beach like waves. You stayed clear of the water, which was rough and choppy tonight, and scoured the area for hints as to what might be happening. You were too wrapped up in your own search and imagining the possibilities to see what Cove was up to, though you occasionally glanced up to make sure he hadn't vanished. You saw a little white point jutting out amongst the sand. You bent down and brushed the grains of sand away, like archaeologists on TV uncovering a conical shell. You ran your fingers over the bumps and curves, admiring the little shell. According to your ears, you heard the usual waves. Though your find was undoubtedly special, it was unconnected to the mysterious noise. That's okay. That means you can take it home safely and add it to your collection. Once you find satisfied nothing else ordinary, noise wasn't as clear as when you first stepped outside. You can still hear shrieks running the peaceful night. Let's check the park. Private playground was empty as ever, practically shaking as you realized it progressed far enough to reach here. Good detective work starts at home. You watch a lot of crime shows, so maybe we should be good to look closely. Two of you swept through every corner of the park. No monkey bar swing or tire went unchecked. And two of you contributed your investigations without conversation. If you found anything that might explain the noise, you would have brought it to the other's attention. Something he found in the sand, exhausted all possible places. Alright. Lots. Alright. I like being out late. No? Why don't you look on the bright side? Your dad's just worried about you. He cares. It doesn't matter if he worries if he's the one who's gonna make things worse. Alright then, I'm going in. Still on the same show, watching before you left, yet you were positive you've been out investigating for hours. Perhaps you can use this distraction to your advantage, or you could just get up the stairs, it would be safe from suspicion. But how could you get up there? Uh, Nonchalantly. Sometimes the best thing you do is hide in plain sight. You strode across the room in the direction of the staircase. Your moms knew you were up, but they had no idea why. They had abandoned the couch and their show to hurry over. They were still in a state of surprise. You weren't in trouble yet. What are you doing down here? You had a bad dream? Uh, do not answer. Your hand's cold. Why didn't you? I was supposed to be in bed. You wouldn't ever be in trouble for coming to us when you're frightened. We'd much rather you came to us than try to solve things all by yourself. Your mom's assumed that your flushing and insistence on delving under the covers was part of your fear and spoke to you softly until you calmed down enough to peep from underneath your sheets. Once you left, you turned over the night's adventure in your mind. You got away with it. Even now, you half expect to be caught. Perhaps you left the door ajar or trailed sand where they were already swept up. Alright, that's good. Next morning proceeded most like usual, though your mom seemed to give extra consideration. Since finding you last night, you've learned Cove didn't end up in trouble for a nightly dispute either. It was unclear whether it's because his dad chose not to punish him or Cove got away with it. It's amazing that it worked out for you both. The sounds that started it all, the adults around were convinced it was nothing more than the wind. For your imaginative mind, okay. Could have been a ghost, could have been the wind. I don't know. There's a Skyrim thing about that. I think after we get to the Sonic part, if we still have time and there's still time in the day, we might I might try to load up a thing in OBS and probably do a reaction video. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Okay. So dinner. All right. Okay, so what are we having? Uh, Racing to the table. All right. Stayed sitting. No reason to run after her. You never agreed to race in the first place. You crossed your arms over your chest and watched instead. Short distance to the kitchen table. Managed to get there easy enough, slapping a hand over the wood. All right. You didn't bother trying to talk to her about that. You blink, you almost forgotten about him. The fact that Cove preferred to keep himself didn't help matters either. You spotted Cove still on the floor, legs crossed. Okay. Cove had come to your house for a sleepover. Your mom's and his dad planned it a few days ago. You hadn't expected it when your mom's told you, but you didn't mind Cove sleeping. You'd rather have your room to yourself, but you were resigned to your fate. There's anything you could do. Didn't respond. Okay. No one's here a loser or rotten egg. You each farm fresh. Huh? What? What is even? What? Huh. Oh, and it's about to start in like 2 minutes or so. Okay. Which is a sentence I never thought I would say. Thank you. That was weird. Now, listen to your mom and come sit at the table, all three of you. Okay, last part of the food. Thanks to the new seating arrangement your parents chose, one free chair was beside you, one another next to Lizzie, the last two were on the other side of the where your mom was sitting. Uh, all right. Guessing being far away is what he wanted. Now that everyone's situated, cooked a bit of everything for dinner. All right, what did you cook? Be sure not to avoid all the veggies. Each person at the table served themselves as for one. Cove hesitated. That's pineapple chicken. Want to try something? Oh, Hawaiian food. Oh, right, 'cause one of them is Hawaiian. I forgot about that. Don't talk with your mouth full, Liz. You should try it now. Unless you want to shrink, that's what happens if you miss a meal. Elizabeth, that's not true. You know that. All right. Uh, Wait. Oh, your name's Lanny? Okay. I mean, technically, I'm not supposed to know your names to at least like part two or three, but all right. You weren't sure about that. Cove didn't look like he was going to try food anytime soon. Give me your plate. Cove was a little confused, but he handed it to you anyway. He was ready for this to be resolved. You took the plate from him and piled only the best foods on it. He watched you intently, his good hand shoved underneath his leg. When you were satisfied with the amount, you returned it. You should like some of these. At first, Cove picked at the food. Clearly, he was apprehensive to eat something new, but he took the few exploratory bites. You don't have to keep asking. He speared more meat with his fork and ate it. It's not bad. You know what? I'm going to get something to eat while the ads play. Give me a second. Alright, I'm back. Alright. Hmm. Yeah, that's true. He is our neighbor and nothing else. We haven't really become friends. Alright. Attempt to make it audible. Or sound of clinking silverware meant you caught the quiet words anyway. We're not friends, he said so. As parents, we can only try. Sometimes we fail. Not all kids will be thick as thieves. Oh, less talking and more eating, kids. You need to clean up and start winding down for bed soon. No buts. We've talked about this. Your bedtime will be moved back in a few years. For now, you don't get to stay up late. It's good food, and you're pretty confident to just eat. Yeah, thank goodness I went and got some food. Technically, I'm cooking something, but it'll be done in a bit. I can just probably go downstairs and get it. But for now, a nice snack to hold over. Okay, rest of dinner passed by uneventfully. Cove was silent for most of it, even with your mom's attempt to include him in the conversation. Alright, that's fine. All too soon, the table was cleared. The games in the living room were put away. All steered toward the bedroom. Lights off. Alright. Thank you. Need anything before falling asleep? Alright. Alright. Cole's family life seems to be doing well. Pretty excited. Taking turns on night rituals. Alright, I think you're right. It might be a good idea to not be a good idea to do that. Is there anything else you can ask me or Shady's other mom, okay? But I'm the nicer one. Just don't tell her that. She laughed good naturedly and stood up. Sleep well? Leaning on the door. Jam. Door jam? What's a door jam? Like, really, what is a door jam? Okay. Hands on the light switch. Okay. Startled when Cove sighed deeply. Uh, what was that? Can't sleep? Why not? I want to be in my bed. What is it? Getting my glasses? You knew even without realizing the title which one it was? Special? What are you doing with that? Okay, thought it looked cool. It's a story about a squire who wants to become a knight in his magic. No mermaids, but there's a dragon in it and crazy things happen. The squire tries to kill her because the king wants the dragon dead, so they have this fight. But the squire finds out that the dragon's really nice and decide they don't want to fight her after all. So the two become friends instead. You spoke more strongly than you had meant to. Your cheeks burned. This must have been how Cove felt earlier. Alright. Thankfully, Cove didn't seem annoyed. In fact, if he didn't know any better, he liked the explanation. Alright, usually Cove spotted a disinterested expression on his face, or a sad one. You could probably count the number of times you've seen him smile on one hand. Well, he's smiling now, so that's good. Right now, though, he looks excited as you flip the book over and focus on the backside to try learning more. You're reminded of the hours you spent hearing the tales. No matter how many times you read it or had it read to you, you're still entertained by the story and pictures inside. Alright. You climbed out of bed and padded over to your side table. You opened it, rummaged around, putting stuffed toys and crayons. He called out to you in a confused whisper. What are you doing? Getting something we need. Pulled out a quiet cry of victory when you found what you're looking for. You jumped to the bed before any hidden boogeyman can catch you unaware. Can you watch as you wiggle your way beneath the blanket you discarded earlier? You put it over your head. You have to come here. Bring the book. After a minute, Cove got onto it, then the blanket lifted. Alright, so it was a flashlight. Now we can read and my moms won't know. Alright, I don't stay up for too long because mom or mommy check on me sometimes, but I haven't been caught yet. Alright, you wanted the story to be narrated. Didn't need to study the page for too long. There once was a squire who dreamed of knighthood. All they wanted was to do good. Cove was taken back when he began to recite the words by heart. He even pronounced knighthood properly, a word which he had given you grief in the past. His reaction encouraged you to keep going. Soon you got to an exciting part, the squire and knight's first meeting. The squire walked up to the fearsome dragon, their borrowed sword in hand and torch in the other. Her red scales danced in the light like flickering flames. Could you say the dragon's lines? Do you need your glasses? No, my head hurts if I don't wear my glasses for a while. I can kind of see things all right, but I don't know any voices. Ah, I have the same problem, Cove, but I don't have any glasses anymore because mine broke. Hmm, that's okay. It's fine anyway. I hope you would agree, but Cove shook his head. Looked like it was just with you. You continued the dramatic reading, reciting the lines for all the characters. Next time you looked up the page, you landed on Cove. His eyes were following the text, a soft smile lighting up his features. A look of his hair fell into his field of vision, but he gave it no notice. He was lost in the story. Your eyelids started to dip. Your eyes opened again. Your bedroom was pitch black and silent. Your head was smushed by your pillows. Your pajamas were sticking to you, and your mouth was dry. All right. Yep. You're still in the room. Have a bad dream? All right. So he wants to go to his house. I'll come with you. Good night. Next morning, and didn't see him. Where he could go. Cove couldn't sleep. He said my room was weird. You could tell by the way her forehead crinkled she was getting more concerned. How are you? Cove Dan standing outside. So I'm a little out of the loop of what happened, but Cove showed up back home in the middle of the night. Okay. You wouldn't tell me? I thought you might have some insight. We didn't hear a thing during the night. I noticed Cove was gone just minutes before you arrived. Is he alright? We're so sorry. He's fine. I just wanted to find out more before having another talk with him. I should have known he wasn't ready to spend the night at someone else's house. It, worried? Okay. You know Cove had gone home? Maybe he snuck out while Shady was asleep. He's gone past the two of us. He didn't want Cove to get in any trouble, but he didn't want to lie to Prince either. Not when they'd been so worried. Prince listened before he explained how dangerous it's been. Cove wandered out his own. Person you didn't think was bad since Cove only lives across the street. But you didn't tell your moms that. You already enough trouble as it was, so when it's asked, perhaps tell something like that next time. It was a little unfair. Alright. Right. Right. Because the DLCs don't count towards moving the story along. So that means we still have all of these. Okay. Come back before it's dark. Alright. Waves over with a smile. It's happy to see you, but still a little weird for getting caught. Alright. Yeah, not doing anything. Alright. Alright, you guys have loads of fun. Pulled out a leather wallet filled with money. You found it odd since your mom's only carried cards in theirs. A crisp 10. Get something for your friend, too. That's my boy. Cove's dad ruffled his son's hair as he was straightening him back up. The bill in his hand still held out towards the green-haired boy. Take care. Cove accepted the bill for a second and slipped it into his pocket, then with one last nod, turned and started walking. He followed after him, intrigued at the possibilities this outing might bring. Alright, straight towards the tide. Looked at Cove, he was dragging his feet through the sand a little. Uh, Looking for shells. If you see any, can you let me know? Conversing sounds of the waves. Notice the waves as they inch closer to your feet. What is it? Pink shell. If I pick up anything that's kind of cool, this is what I got this time. Uh, Sandcastles. Last summer, Liz and I built one that was as tall as me, and sometimes they have sandcastle building competitions by the boardwalk. Okay, no longer just waves. It was nice. The energy surrounding the area seems to fill you. There was a bounce in your step as you began looking at the familiar sights. So many things you to do, you didn't know where to begin. You looked at Cove, hoping he was just as excited as you were. You glancing from one side of the street to the other, with a look in his aquamarine eyes that you couldn't quite work out. What's that? Cove pointed to a crowd of people gathered near a few tables. You couldn't see past the adults who were blocking away, but you knew must be something worth seeing. Without another word, the two of you hunched over to see what all the commotion was about. The amazing Alexander, a man with a tall hat and a funny green coat that had three long tails. Okay, why tell people his name if it's already on a sign? Turns away as Shuffle a deck of cards. You bit your lip, reluctantly trying to fall after a cove again. Hey, not watching where you're going proved a bad idea. Just bump right in the cove. Oh, sorry. Did you want to stay or something? If that's okay. You could have said so. With that it began. The magic man pulled one card out of his deck, showing it to the onlookers. The four of diamonds. Watch closely. You did so, squeezing through the few of the adult onlookers to get a better view. Suddenly the man snapped his fingers and the card just disappeared. Whoa. The amazing Alexander, who had earned his title, turned his head and looked directly at you. He pulled out a kind smile. What's that behind your ear? Nothing? It was true, you didn't keep anything there. He smiled like popcorn and candy when he stepped closer, and you winkled your nose in confusion as you watched him. You felt a tug, and then he pulled the four of diamonds out from behind your ear. You knew that it couldn't really have come from your ear, but you still didn't get how he'd done it. There was light applause from the crowd, and the man gave a deep bow. This is for you. A pair of balloons with a clump of them tied down to his table, both were in the shape of a dolphin instead of a normal circle. And one for your friend. Thank you for being my assistant. Pick any card. All right. That was pretty nice. Not a lot of magic people are that nice, really. Okay, my uncle does that every time he visits, not the balloon, the stuff with cards. If so, he was lucky. Alright, clear some. You notice to the side there was a whole rack of brightly colored kaleidoscopes. You briefly looked at the rack of toys, thinking they could be interesting to look like, but you didn't really feel in the mood at the moment. Picked up one of the kaleidoscopes, looking through, testing the tube. You having fun? A little. Ooh. Okay, sand pails, dolphin. Alright. You weren't supposed to go near sharks in real life, but there's something with a shark you like, and a fabric on the back, and you picked it up. Oh, it's $6. I didn't bring any money. You don't have to pay for me, bro. Alright. Yeah, thanks. We're going to thank him for the keychain, but considering he only did it because his dad told him it probably didn't matter. And it got eaten since breakfast. Alright, everything looked delicious. Passing hot dogs. One with chocolate. Okay. Oh, it was a pretzel with chocolate, not a hot dog with chocolate. I was about to say. Empty table. I know. After carefully pressing your pretzel somewhere it wouldn't get sandy, you tugged the balloon dolphin out of Cole's hand, tied it in a delicate bow around his wrist. And I bounced his arm up and down, testing the stability of your knot. After watching his balloon jostle about but remain attached, he smiled. All right. Admiring the handiwork. Doughy treat. Oh, an ad. And I should check out the. as I was cooking were done, so I had to take them off the stove. Anyway, turn to face him. Uh, Splash. I'll give him my balloon. Okay. It was a nice day. Grown up. One sweltering summer day. Okay. Let's come up with something else. Okay. What do you play pretend? I don't know. Golfing? Really? Anything else? All right. Uh, Volleyball. I'm good at volleyball. Hmm. Why do you want to be an Olympic athlete? That seems weird. All right. Silver's not bad. Would make sense. All right. Not right on the sand by the water. Why would you want to live on the beach like that? Okay. Not possible. Like, I mean, you're playing pretend. Okay. You can swim whenever you want if you live on the beach. Okay. These, I don't think they're getting along. All right. What's going on with... Uh, I'm gonna tell the truth. They were fighting, Cove and Lizzie, for the whole time. I told you to be nice to him. He's having a hard time right now. I know I tried, but he was no buts. We both know you have somewhere how you can show someone a great time when you put your mind to it. We're going to apologize to Cove and his dad over the phone when he gets home from work tonight. Good girl. You caught pieces of Lizzie sulking to herself about how it was his fault, but it was over. All right. Uh, let's just cheer up, Lizzie. Mm, this hot dog's nice. Oh, damn it. Okay. Now it's a close one. I almost got sauce all over the PC. All right. Now, where were we? It did cheer her up. Good. All right, so oh, we're going to our golf thing. Okay. Oh, we're going to a dinner? Okay. Okay, once everyone's inside, taking their shoes off. It was her fault. Okay. All right. It definitely meant that he said it with surprise. He thought hard. Sure, your sister never called Cole's house before. Cliff, no. Hi, Cliff, Nolani, Shady, and I are here too. Good morning. Hi. All right. Cove didn't tell me anything about that when I came home. It does explain the funk he's been in tonight. He chuckled lightly despite that. Doesn't seem he really thought it was funny. Anyway, it's good you didn't catch us at a bad time. I'll go grab him for you. There's some shuffling on the other end. He must not have gone far because you still hear him calling out. Cove, there's someone on the phone for you. Come on, bud. Lizzie called just so she can talk to you. Hello? Hey, it's Lizzie. Yeah, I know, Dad told me. Alright, I called to say I'm sorry. Alright, I want gold. Alright, you win the gold. Okay, I guess I'm sorry too. Okay. Uh, alright. Huh. We're almost 3 hours into this game. Should I switch over to the next game or not? I don't know. Alright. Yay. Okay, give permission to leave. Okay. They might not get along, probably still won't, but they weren't mad at each other anymore. Everything's finally back to normal. Okay. Long day. Okay. Pleased. Alright. Get another drink. Ice cream sandwich. Oh, the stream's going unstable. That's bad. I might have to prepare for things to go badly. Side. Okay. We don't have any here, and I don't have any money. Just over $1. It's a start. We need to find some more. Till you lift couch cushions. Wander to the $20 bill. $2.53 and two buttons. Figured he knew the answer, but you appreciate him recognizing your authority on financial and ice cream matters. Straightened up before we make it. Yeah, we got enough. All right. Asking it's time to set a decision. It was your idea. You should choose. Try to get something you both wanted anyway. Wasn't fair to be the only one to decide when he's been a main factor in making this happen. Some of the money came directly from his backpack. All right. What do you really like, popsicles or ice cream? Which is your favorite? You want me to choose? All right, and that was that. You got dessert you originally hoped. All right. You didn't want anything? Even if Silo said it's okay, every story you've ever seen on TV, read in a book, said that sharing was caring, you stood your ground, even as the treat started to trickle dangerously between your fingers. It's only fair that you have some. We both brought it, but you want it more than I do, and getting to play was a lot of fun, so you can have it. That's more fair. I want you to have some even more than I want to finish it, so each share part. You pick the best one. All right. Yeah, something's up with Silo. Not being able to talk to people isn't fun. He didn't want to be the kind of person people were scared to tell their honest opinion to. Considered asking Silo about it, but he couldn't give an opinion on something like ice cream. Then he wasn't going to be very open about this. He hoped for the best. Maybe you were wrong, or if you were right, maybe he'll feel better about it soon. Silo made you unsure about being setting a label on the experience of spending the afternoon with just him. You were positive one thing though. The treat was delicious and that was nice. All right. Okay. Uh, let's try to figure out what happened. Without a time machine, the only way you're going to find out is by asking the witnesses. Okay. What happened? Oh. Oh, it was the old, crotchety old people. Okay, got it. That's like that's not really good, but it's still better than you two fighting each other. Okay. All right. Ding dong dish 'em. All right. Okay. You thought they deserved worse. His prank skill is pretty weak. They would answer the door to find nothing there, so what? It would be sort of annoying, but they seemed like the kind of people that would be irritating about anything. If they were going to open the door, there should be something bad there. That'd be letting them off too easy. You felt three pairs of eyes staring at you, but you were studying your surroundings thoughtfully. There wasn't much they might dislike. Your inspiration crawled towards you. And from a roly-poly bug, you lowered your hand, let it cramp on your palm. That should do it. You never met a adult who appreciated bugs. All right. You knew where to look. Don't get caught. Okay. Carefully place ground where it be seen, but off enough to the side so it wouldn't be stepped on. All right. It wasn't time to go around the bushes as the others had done. You took a shortcut, leaping over them, or to be crashing into the tops of the bushes and then falling over to the other side. Judging by the squeak, it was Silo who cushioned your fall. Okay. Shh. Lizzie put a finger over her lips and nodded at the house. You disentangled your limbs. Silo spun around to see the old man frame the doorway, peering back and forth. Maybe he spotted one of you, or maybe it was the leaves he displaced. Run. All right. Hey. All right. Yeah, you were right. There were some mean old people here. Okay. That's it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Like he prefers Lizzie, and I kind of think they should end up together. I don't know if they do. It'd be nice. Okay, floated on by. Oh. Dolphins and clouds. All right. Oh, hey, Giz. I should get something to drink. Let me stretch. Back. All right. Let's see. What do you want, Liz? Okay, visible. Okay. All right, so everyone's on the beach. Quiet at the hour, abandoned sandcastles. Four of you tuck shoes, remove socks. Okay. Still, it's nice to like hear from you, Giz. I think we are almost done with all of the moments within step one of this game. So I guess we could almost unlock the time skip. I'm thinking Megaton Musashi Wired? Huh. I don't think I've ever heard of that game before. Is it good? Yeah, I figured since Valentine's Day is coming up, I should probably try to play some Valentine's themed stuff. So I was like, you know what? I have Princess Maker 2 and this visual novel here. Why don't I play those along with Sonic Crossroads? Because there's a festival for the monkey. So I figured we'd play those three and maybe I would mess around with OBS and try to do a reaction video or something. Ooh, mecha games? Okay. All right. Ah, Silo only has a single mom. All right, that's cool. Oh, you never had a dad or anything. I wonder. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. There's plaster on his head. Foot got stuck and fell over. All right. Okay. I do wonder what happens to him after this part, because like I don't remember if we ever see Silo again. Huh. All right. Like I don't remember how far I got into this game the last time I played it. I think it was like step two, because I bought like the DLC, so I was like, okay, all right, making some memories. All right, everyone seems to be happy. All right, sitting on an old bench. Oh, Lizzie's been soaked. Okay. Yes. And then there's like a few more, two more moments. But considering how unstable OBS thinks the things will be, I'm going to exit out here. All right. Yes, yes. Come on. Thank you. All right. Where are you? Okay. I'm going to change the order of the games that we're going to be playing. So don't be too surprised. Real quick. All right. And there we go. I think we'll play a bit of Crossworlds. Probably get some stuff done for the festival. If I'm still feeling up to it with the Switch, I might play a bit of uh maybe some Sonic Forces. Who knows? Huh. The stream manager says there's a bunch of new stuff I could do. Whatever. All right.